What's up, JFW family? Welcome back to the Channel 23 podcast. The purpose of this podcast is to reach out and touch the fleet, to engage and inform everyone with all things JFW. Good morning, Jim, Brother Dave, Super Dave, and our special guest, Dennis Viscarra.
Hey, everybody.
Good morning. 0088.
Good morning.
What's up, Dennis? Glad to have you here.
Yeah,
Hello.
This is a special podcast with Dennis's last day being Friday. He's retiring, so what a perfect guest to have on this week's podcast.
So is that like a 3-day virgin, Dennis? You got just like 3 days later?
I know. It's the longest 5. Actually, it's not.
Well, before we get too much further, let's pledge our allegiance.
Sounds good.
Nice.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. As a reminder, anything you hear on this podcast is not the opinion of JFW. It's just our opinion. Episode 43, it had 251 downloads, and we are at 14.5 thousand downloads with 137 regular followers.
Wow, that's great. Good
Yeah,
stuff.
we're coming up on a year. I mean, this is episode 44. We've skipped maybe 3 or 4 weeks, but
Yeah, two I know for sure, but yeah.
yeah, I think 3 for sure.
Was it? Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah,
I think
2.
we started last October, so
Yeah.
almost a year of coming up here and sitting in this room.
Wow.
Yep. Did you guys
And every
hear-
week I'm shocked.
Yeah.
Like, oh, we got to do the podcast today? I need a dad joke. I mean, that's terrible.
Have we gotten better, though, everybody? Or
My jokes are worse. I started out hot, and now I'm cold.
Yeah,
Better
you
than-
crushed like the first 10 weeks, Dave, or
Better
20
than
weeks.
better than your first week, Brother Dave, when you walked in the room and you're like, holy shit, we got microphones?
Oh, man.
So
I don't know. My dad joke for today, I really liked it, Dave. And the more I read it, I'm like, I really think we've done this one. So I'm like,
let's find out.
Right.
Kick it off, Jim.
right? Okay. All right. So my joke last week where we talked about the $5 bill going into the bar and, he wasn't allowed there, singles bar and stuff.
Bar, yeah.
So I kind of looked up some stuff on bars and alcohol and stuff. So here's a few facts before my joke. So did you know that Abraham Lincoln had his liquor license, so he was considered like one of the first bartenders before he was president? And then also back in the day, they made alcohol out of everything: tomatoes, carrots, onions, squash, celery, beets, dandelions. It didn't matter. We tried to make alcohol out of everything. And then the average champagne bottle contains 49 million bubbles,
Wow.
and a cork.
Who counted that?
Right.
Drinking it or just through the glass? How was that? Yeah. And then the average speed of a cork coming out of a champagne bottle can be up to 50 miles per hour. And it'll
Okay.
break a painted glass.
Nice.
You
So-
could poke an eye out.
So this guy walks into a bar, and there's these 3 steaks hanging from the ceiling. And he goes, "What are those?" And the bartender says, "Well, if you can jump up and hit every one of those, you get to drink here for an hour for free." But he said, "You miss one, just one, and the drinks are on you for an hour." The guy sits there and thinks about it, and he's like, "Oh, man." He said, "The stakes are just too high."
Dang it.
Ba-da-ba.
Have we done that one before?
No.
Let's not do it again. Either.
I liked it, Jim.
No, it
I
was
liked
good.
it. That was a good corny
I'm
joke.
teasing.
A good
like
corny joke.
That's what dad jokes are.
That's supposed to be. We're supposed to be corny. We got other jokes we could tell, but yeah, we are.
Oh, yeah.
they're not.
I just told Dennis some of my favorite jokes are like not rated for radio.
You actually may not realize this, but you started the whole dad joke thing.
Oh no.
Yeah,
How's
because
that?
you used to just tell random dad jokes. Yeah, and then I started walking by the office with 1 or 2 little ones I
Yeah.
knew, and then we started the podcast. But yeah, who is that? Oh, that's me. So prepared. So, yeah, good job, Brother Dave.
Ah, nice.
Dad jokes are on you. You might as well do yours.
I'm going to, but I'm a little disappointed because you always kind of get Super Dave with a segue into one.
Well, you
And
ruined,
you've kind of changed last week and this week, and
you ruined it last week.
oh,
Yeah,
gotcha.
I was starting. You were like waving your arms. Don't fall for it.
I was like, Dave, this is his joke. Elbow, elbow, elbow.
Not anymore.
Oh, that's funny. Well, I kind of have two of them, so I'm going to do one now.
Oh.
Then I'm going to do one after Dennis because Dennis was actually great and gave me one
Nice.
that has to do with retirement, and so
Oh,
that's the
sweet.
reason Dennis is here today. And it's a really good one, so I like it. But,
Can't wait.
so this one, the wife and I were at Walmart this weekend supporting our local Broncos team, and did you guys catch all that? Supporting the local Broncos team. That wasn't the joke. That really is. But anyway, so they had Halloween stuff out already. Can you believe that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw it
They
at
had
Lowe's this
bales of
weekend.
hay and costumes, and I'm thinking, this is school barely started, and we've got Halloween stuff out. This is a little too early. So, do you guys know what you call a naughty lamb dressed up for Halloween?
Oh,
And this isn't dirty.
This isn't
A naughty lamb.
you just hear the
naughty
word naughty.
lamb.
and
dressed up for Halloween.
What do you call a naughty lamb dressed up for Halloween?
Bad to the bone.
Oh, man. Nice job.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could pull that off. Dennis, what do you got?
I was going to say a stripper, but never mind.
See?
Well, I knew I was going to have to do a dad joke, so I had to look around. So here's what I come up with. Okay, a woman came home to find her retired husband waving a rolled up newspaper around his head. So the wife asked, "What are you doing?" The husband replies, "Swatting flies. I got all 3 males and 2 flies." The wife says, "How in the heck can you tell the gender of a fly?" He says, "Well, 3 landed on the beer and 2 landed on the phone."
That's funny.
Yeah, that is a good one. That is a good one.
Right on.
Soup?
Funny.
Better than mine. I'll tell you, though, Jim started out with bartender jokes. I'm going to talk about the new restaurant. Did you hear about that new restaurant called Karma?
You get what you deserve?
Yeah, there is no menu. You get what you deserve.
That's funny.
That's funny. All right, I'm going to follow up with this joke. This is from Dennis. He had 2 of them. He was nice because I was like, again, we're doing the podcast today? I need a dad joke. Like, it's a surprise every Wednesday. I'm so shocked. And so anyway, retirement joke. This retired guy goes to the doctor, says, "Doc, I ache all over. Everywhere I touch, it hurts." The doctor replies, "Okay, touch your elbow." The guy touches his elbow and winces in genuine pain. The doctor, surprised, then states, "Touch your head." The guy touches his head and jumps in agony. The doctor asks him to touch his knee, and the same thing happens. Everywhere the guy touches, it just hurts. He's in excruciating pain. The doctor, stumped, orders a complete examination with x-rays. He tells the guy, "Come back next in 2 days." 2 days later, the guy walks back in the office, and the doctor declares, "We found your problem." The guy says, "Oh yeah? What is it?" asks the retiree. "You've broken your finger."
That's funny. Did you hear, and this isn't my dad joke, but you just reminded me of it. Guy goes to the doctor gives him 60 days to live. On his way out, he can't pay the bill, so the doctor gave him another 60. But anyway, did you hear about the sad bullet that came home to his family?
The sad bullet.
The sad bullet? No. His wife says, "What's the matter with you? You look terrible." He's like, "I got fired today."
Oh, that's awesome.
New drivers, we had Julius Gaines start this week, and then Dale's son-in-law, right?
Yeah, Dylan.
Dylan.
Yep.
I didn't get it
Dylan
written down.
Harshman.
Dylan Harshman. Welcome, Julius and Dylan.
Yeah, welcome you guys. Glad to have you.
Hopefully you have an 18-year career here like
You're going to
Dennis.
like it. You're going to enjoy it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it went by like that, didn't it, Dennis?
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you see Dylan's facts there? This morning I looked on Bamboo.
I didn't see
You know,
it.
all new employees fill that out. You know, where's your favorite place in Colorado, or where's your favorite place? If you have a favorite football team, you know, what's a weird fact? His fact was, did you know giraffes hum at night to keep their pack together?
I did not know that.
No.
Thought that was an interesting fact.
I'm going to have to YouTube that and
Right.
listen. That sounds cool.
It's got a buzz.
We just saw
That
some
was a
giraffes.
dad joke. I just made that.
That was good.
You can't make that shit up.
Nope. We were just down at the Cheyenne Mountain Zoo. Jim came
Yeah.
down for Bella's birthday, and you got to feed the giraffes there. And man, those things are freaky. Their tongues are like 2 feet long and purple, and yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't see how they hum, Jim. That wasn't a fact up on the board, was it?
Maybe they could whistle. I don't know. Interesting. Celebrations. Junior Calderon had a baby girl named Isabel on August 28th at 1:48 p.m. And she was 6 pounds and 13 ounces. So
Ooh, congratulations.
Congrats.
Yeah, congratulations.
I love those celebrations.
Right?
Absolutely. One of the texts when we were, passing around on the celebration wasn't new truck driver had a new truck driver born. I think
Oh,
that
yeah.
was one of them.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cute.
Right,
Yeah.
right. We
Yeah,
got a
that
new
is
truck
cute.
driver in the family.
Right?
Yeah, if you look at JR's profile picture on Bamboo, he's got his I guess the older sister now, and she looks a lot like Junior, in my opinion. It's a good picture of those two. So you can tell he's a good dad and he loves his kids. So
That's awesome. Congratulations.
yep. Anniversaries. Josh Brown hit 1 year yesterday. Congratulations, Josh. Russ Murphy's 2-year anniversary is today, and he has some.
Congratulations.
Wonder what his total years are, because how long did he work here before? 10 years?
It was so funny. We hacked on him because
Yeah,
he
just
quit.
short.
He quit right before his 10th anniversary the first time.
So 12 years total.
And then he was back for 3.5 the second time, I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is his third
So
time. Lucky
15 years total.
No.
Yeah. It's
He's
almost
probably
caught up to
pushing.
Dennis.
Got to be close to 15.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Leroy Powell has his 2-year anniversary tomorrow. And Dennis Viscarra, 18 years tomorrow, buddy.
Wow. Congratulations,
Congratulations,
Dennis.
everybody.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Way to
big.
go, Leroy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Good
congrats.
job, everybody.
Congrats.
Family birthday celebrations. Birthday celebrations. Chris Beam has a birthday this Saturday the 3rd. So happy birthday, Chris.
Happy birthday, Chris.
Happy birthday, Chris.
Yeah. Happy birthday, Chris.
I got to tell you a funny story about Chris Beam. Dale popped his head in the office yesterday because I just made a hiring this young man yesterday, and Dale comes in and he goes, "Are you just trying to mess with me or what?" And I said, "What are you talking about?" And he goes, "We have a Chris Beam, and now we have a Chris Green." And I'm like, "Oh wow, that's that." Yeah, I just hired him yesterday. He's going to start after the holiday.
You should have put him as a trainer. Should have called him Green Beans.
I looked for his middle name on his license. His middle name is Scott, so we might just need to call him Scott.
Either that or Chris Beam is Google. Maybe this guy will be full information. We could call him like Alexa or something. I don't know.
Old Chris and new Chris.
I just heard not a dad joke, but it was like a dad pickup line about Google.
Oh, yeah?
And this guy pulls up next to these two girls in the car. He gets them to roll down their window, and he's like, "How's it going today, ladies?" And they're thinking, "Oh, what's this guy want?" He says, "Hey, do either of you work for Google?" And they're like, "No, we don't work for Google." And he's like, "Oh, that's too bad," because he goes, "It looks like you have everything I'm searching for." I was like, son of a, that's pretty good.
Family birthday celebrations. We got Kelly Dewey, which is Leroy Powell's wife. Her birthday was Monday the 29th. We got Lori Domenico's birthday was yesterday. And then Alexis Shug, Friday the 2nd. It'll be her birthday. So happy birthday to the 3 of you ladies.
Yep. Happy
Absolutely.
birthday,
Yeah,
ladies.
happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
You know when Diana got the card in the mail, you should have seen her face. We were sitting there, TV right there, her couch, her chair, my chair, and she's sitting there with her legs all crunched up. I give her the letter. I knew what it was. And she opened it. "Is this for me?" And she opens it. She goes, "Hi." She was all like real giddy about it. It
That's
was
cool.
pretty good.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
that is
awesome.
cool.
Good stuff.
Yeah, things we pass over. Just a little birthday wish.
Right?
Means a lot.
Yeah.
What a hit. That was a great idea because they really.
She was having a terrible day that day too, and
Bam.
man, just snapped her right out of it.
That
That's
is awesome.
That's so cool. Yesterday, and this is part of the shout outs, Canelo takes a phone call and he's like, "Jam, it's for you." And right away, I want to know who it is. Is it a driver? Is it a solicitor? Like, I don't want to talk to just anybody. He's like, I don't know. And the phone's already ringing, and I pick it up, and this woman's on the other line, and she's like, oh my God, I'm so nervous. And I'm like, what in the world is this going to be about? She's like, hey, this is Melissa Martinez, Alan Martinez's wife. And she said, I just wanted to call and say thank you for that Amazon card I received for Aladdin's 2-year, well, she called him Alan, Chili Dog, for his 2-year anniversary. She's like, it means so much, and she appreciates JFW so much. I thought it was the coolest thing. Then she says, can I give you a shout out? She listens to the podcast every week. And she's
Very cool.
She's like, can I give you a shout out? And you guys know I just think it's weird that the host of a podcast would give himself a shout out on the podcast. It's just weird to me. But I was like, yeah, what's up? And anyway, she just said, thanks for being there for them and their family and their daughter Samantha, because she has some medical issues going on sometimes, and Alan's got to be there to take her to the doctor and everything. And yeah, it was just a really nice phone call, because we've had people email. We've had beautiful cards sent in, but I believe this was the first phone call. So great job to Melissa Martinez. Shout out to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. Isn't it funny too, Jam, how it's not like you were thinking the worst, but we all handle so many things, and it's usually down stuff.
Right.
And when that one person comes along, or that one, uplifting moment like the birthday card and stuff, you're just like, change your day.
Oh, yeah.
It's just, yeah.
Yep. Good stuff.
Yeah.
And then I want to give a shout out to Seabass again about my family, but the other day, my wife comes home and she says, I just had, she's like, other than when you and Bella come grocery shopping with me, I just had a really good experience grocery shopping. I'm like, yeah. And she's like, yeah, some man helped me load my groceries in my car. So right away I look, because if you know me and my family, like, we don't just let strangers near us and our kids. You know what I mean? So I'm just like, what? And I just right away think of like, and we've been watching a lot of Dexter lately, and it's just like, it's just like, what do you mean some man helped you load your
That'll
groceries?
creep you out.
You know what I mean? And I think about this thing called forced pairing, where, if Jim had groceries and I was like, wow, Jim, we have a lot of groceries to put away. Let's get it in the car. Like, we're partners.
Right.
So then I'm really? And she's like, yeah, his name was Seabass. I'm like, oh, that's weird. And she's like, yeah, he had his JFW shirt on in line. And I said, oh, you work for JFW? And I introduced myself. But then she was loading the groceries up, and she had like a 55-pound bag of dog food. And he was driving by, and he's like, oh, you want some help? So shout out to you, Seabass. Thanks for being a class act.
A gentleman, yes, sir.
Yes, appreciate that.
Yep, absolutely.
That is very cool.
Yep. Us.
I bet he pushed the shopping cart and put it away too.
I think she said he put the shopping cart away.
Right.
Diana,
Probably
was she-
his and hers.
I think his was already put away.
Gotcha.
Yeah, he was in his pickup by the time.
Who said
it was over.
chivalry is dead?
Yeah, absolutely.
Diana, where she works, she always, some of our drivers, they go into her store when she's there, and she'll, hey, do you work for JFW? And yeah, do you know so and so? Me mostly, but yeah. And
Dennis
that's
Viscarra?
funny.
She's like, yeah, it's my husband.
Who?
Dennis who?
Yeah, I keep locking the door, but he keeps coming in from the back.
Got to lock both doors, right, Dennis?
Yeah.
So, Os wants to give a shout out. If you don't know who Os is, don't feel bad, because we didn't know either until we heard him say it. Os is Oswaldo, or Canelo. He's been working down in dispatch these last 4 days, and he wanted to give a shout out to Dale and Randy for being patient and taking him under their wings. So
Good
good
stuff.
job, Dale and Randy. Those guys do a great job every day. They definitely try their hardest. So,
Yeah.
Yep, good
Yeah.
stuff.
Linda was on vacation the last couple of days. I think last Friday through yesterday, back today. But hearing the dynamic on the radio yesterday, Jim and I were in equipment all day yesterday and had the radios on, and you get a different perspective. It's just different than being in the office here.
Sure.
You're hearing from a different situation, and those guys were just rocking it. You know what I mean? They were, a driver would call, they had the dispatch, they had what they were doing next. It was bam, done, in, out, clear, loud, all of that. I mean, him and Dale, they were mainly on the radio. Then I heard Randy jump in there a little bit.
Yeah.
You could tell Randy was like working in the background, and those two were on it. So it was nice. It was good.
Yeah, I think we have a decision to make probably today on what we're going to do with Os.
Yeah,
Yeah.
He's very engaged. Wants to be there. Wants to help. And he was, and good. Like we've had other people in there. All the drivers have a background, so it's a leg up. Helps them.
Yeah, if he gets a position, that'll be 3 former drivers dispatching in there.
Yep.
Yep. So
Have that driver experience. Knows what it takes. It's important.
absolutely. Joanne wants to give a couple shout outs. One to drivers using the pull down menus in Bamboo instead of JFW paper tickets. And it's a big help going paperless. Dennis, you asked what the pull down menu is. That's a menu that says training or short haul exception, or I think there might be a bulking one and possibly rubble or stuff like that. So she appreciates that. She also wants to give a shout out to the drivers who log their loads to verify that their checks are correct because they're easy to fix. So we got guys that are paying attention to load count in their hauls, and they're able to say, hey, this isn't right. And they got ticket numbers, and it's just really easy for her. Those are the same guys that'll be successful when we switch over to Paycom, because before your check gets cut through Paycom, you'll have an opportunity to verify it's correct, right? To approve it, basically. Now, if you don't approve it, it's still going to get cut. But if you improve it in time, then or not approve it, you could point out the mistake, and instead of having to wait for a separate check or sometimes the next week for the difference to be made up, you'll be able to fix it right on the spot. So.
Yeah, and I assume Paycom will have some kind of pull-down menu or some choice for what you're doing. We'll add to that, Jam. I mean, it should. Haul and rubble or training or just like that.
I hope so, yeah. Otherwise, we'll have to manipulate it and figure out a way to do it, make it do what we want. That's
right.
That's what I feel happens a lot is we get something and then we got to make it work for us, figure out a way.
We're such a niche.
Yeah, so. And then also she wanted to give a shout out to the A group. The A group upstairs is Amber, Ann, and Angie for kicking butt and taking names every day. She says we have a great group upstairs that works well with everyone, and the driver support they show is outstanding. And shout out to Joanne as well, because she is certainly part of that group.
Absolutely.
All right, so can we announce what's going on with our rubble hauls? Is that cool?
Yeah, absolutely.
So you probably heard us talk about it on the podcast. There was a little bit of an issue with us getting all the rubble out of some of the brand implants, and they hired somebody else to do that for a little while, but we are super excited to announce that we got it all back.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep. We don't just lay down over here. We're going to fight for what we want and make it better.
Yeah, and we had a meeting with all the guys that are going to be in rubble trucks to start with here and people filling in, and kind of went over what Brandon expected and what we expected, and it should be good. It should be something we're proud to have back and be proud to be part of and partner with Brandon.
Yep. Shout out to the rubble truck drivers. Dennis, you were one of them, although you said you want to finish up in a material
got
trailer.
Switched over somehow, but just keep on going. Pick up your pants and keep on going.
Well,
get to work.
When you say you got switched over somehow, I mean, we just didn't have the rubble haul. So
well, that we were having at the end. We were having trouble on how many rubble trucks to dispatch.
Right.
And there was a big void there, I imagine, and so I got on a
switch back and forth.
Switch back and forth to an aluminum to a rubble, and I said, "Come on, man, just keep me on one or the other." So, because it's kind of tough for me to go up and down those jumping up and down. But anyway,
gotcha.
But anyway, like I said, it was just something. It was just a thing, and I just stay with the aluminum and keep on going and just get the job done.
Cool.
When you first started, I know you were in an aluminum trailer.
Yeah, I started rubble.
How long, and then when did you switch over?
I want to say 6 years. 5 years.
Is that really? I thought it was right away. Like you were in an aluminum trailer for 6 months, maybe.
Whenever, what was his name that was doing the rubble?
Animal?
No, the one where the girl ran into the back of his trailer.
Oh. What was his name?
Who? What?
The girl was texting.
Ray.
Oh, Ray.
Yes, Ray.
And
003 Ray.
And that's when I asked I asked to be switched to the rubble truck, and we were still having a party. That was the last party that we had at Dave's garage.
Oh, wow.
At his shop, yeah. And I don't know. I imagine that was, I don't know, 4 or 5 years, 6 years in.
Wow, I'm shocked that it was that long.
Yeah.
I thought you moved right away into
No, I was
rubble.
doing all the golf loads. I was doing all the, those Wyomings on all over the place, just like these guys do. Mm-hmm. And at the time we were doing big boulders, and I like calling those boulders. That was to me that was a kick in the butt and a challenge.
Well, it kicks when you
yeah.
unload them, don't they?
Oh boy, oh boy.
Yeah, they come out with authority.
I had a delivery with some rubble. I mean, with big boulders. I think they were M-Rock and monster boulders. And this guy, his house was over here like this, and he had like a little berm going up, and he wanted them on top of the berm, and down was a window down there. And I says, you know what? I mean, I'll straddle that berm, but rocks are going to roll, and once they start rolling, they're going to keep on going. He goes, "Oh, that's okay, that's okay." He had some iron gates on his windows, and I was like, I don't know, I really don't want to. So I tried as easy as I can, and sure enough, one kicked out and started rolling. It stopped like this far from his window, and I said, "Wow, that was a trip."
Yeah, I got a funny story about dumping big rocks. Animal and I were up on some mountain delivering to a new construction mountain home for the rock doctor. They were probably like 3-foot boulders going into a retaining wall, and so typically we dumped it kind of at the top, and they would roll down the hill to where they wanted to start building the wall. Well, there was a porta potty down there, and I dumped my load. It was fine. And Animal sent his up, and
of course,
he just had a flair for dumping that rock off. And you remember the old 001 and the way that sounded with those pipes, and he revved it up. I'm telling you what, one of those rocks went down that hill and took out that porta potty. Thank God there was nobody in it. I mean, it leveled it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a trick to it. I mean, it's fun, and then once they start coming out, everybody stops what they're doing. They take a look.
Right? Oh yeah.
I just want to back up to the rubble truck drivers real quick before we get too far forward. I want to give those guys a shout out. They are definitely a niche group of drivers we here at JFW. They have their own. They're definitely part of the big family, but they have their own little family as well, just because they work together day in and day out. We got 3 new guys joining them, Juan Morales, Chain, and Herb. Those guys that should fit in real well with that group, and they do a good job. So we're excited to get everything back and really just do it better than we ever done it before. So.
Yeah, they're a lot like the Bulkers.
Yep, exactly.
Very much.
And they really help each other out. If something they're on at their dumping point and something doesn't work out right, there's somebody there and they're ready to go. They're ready to help. Everybody's ready to go.
Speaking of the Bulkers, Soup, did you have a shout out for the Bulkers we were talking about earlier?
Absolutely. I'm sure everybody knows, but those guys have been burning the candle at both ends for the last couple of months. They've been starting at 1 and 2 in the morning and sometimes working 14 hours a day, 15 hours a day, and they're hanging in there.
Never 15.
They are doing an outstanding job and keeping those plants full of cement and fly ash, and they definitely are doing a great job. I just wanted to give them a shout.
Shout out. Hang in there, guys, too. I mean, there is a light at the end of the tunnel, so hang in there. We do appreciate everything you're doing.
Yeah, and also a shout out, I don't think we mentioned anything on air. You know, Rob was gone for 2 weeks on vacation and got engaged, and Freddie took that over and dispatched everybody. And, you know, I made a point, personally thanked Freddie a couple times now, but just on air so everybody knows that. He was a rock star, fit right in, took over and, you know, was able to help everybody out and fill that position. It's kind of funny because so many things that go on here, you don't realize how much effort is being put into it when it's being handled so flawlessly.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I don't want to say we take it for granted or take advantage of it, but you may not totally realize all that's going on here unless you've walked in that person's shoes or you've done that job or you've been on that haul or, you know what I mean? So there's a lot to be said about what goes on here. Everybody is pretty amazing around here.
Yeah, and a shout out to Rob for getting engaged.
Yeah,
too.
right? Yeah.
Yeah, that's a big deal.
Yeah, until somebody takes off or there's a void to fill, sometimes you don't realize all the things
Right.
that person does.
Yeah.
You know, like, he's got it covered A to Z. Well, it probably only looks like A to B to
Yeah.
everybody else, but there's a million things that go on in between it. So
Absolutely.
great job, Rob, and great job, Freddie, for filling in. I did notice Freddie lost a little hair and his beard was a little grayer at the end of that, but yeah, good job.
That is awesome.
Any other shout-outs, guys?
I want to throw one out there. I wanted to interrupt you during anniversaries, but Josh Brown in the Wash Bay, he's kind of brought a new level of not criteria. He's got the same criteria, but a new perspective to the Wash Bay. He's come up with these other soaps and foamers, and I think he's one of the largest reasons the Wash Bay has been able to keep our trailers so nice.
Nice.
And I just want to throw a shout out to him. We're in the middle of, hopefully by next week we can have guys start washing over at Yard 23 now, our own guys, and it will probably be Josh. So
Nice.
whether we can wash one truck or 3 trucks a night, it's going to be better. Because
Sweet.
those trucks haven't gotten the love from the Wash Bay that the trucks in this yard do.
Right.
You don't really notice it going down the highway, but when you stand next to them, you sure see it.
You really
It
see
just-
it.
it just makes a huge
trailers
difference.
and frames and
Yeah.
Right?
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
when one of them comes over here for a flat tire or something during the day, I walk that truck and say, "Oh my gosh!"
Right?
Then
Right.
you open the hood up, Dave. Oh wow.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Look at mine. It's out there.
yeah. You're just like
I mean,
shocked.
that's the reason why we want to try and do this. In addition to the other company washing, it's just going to take a guy working on them to get them cleaned back up. But super excited about it. It was funny because I got with Rich, said, Rich, hey, whatever we need to get going over there, what do we need, And I said, whatever you need, just give it to Super Dave, and we should be good. And I I kind of threw old Super Dave under the bus because I'd never bothered telling Dave. And the next thing I know, here comes Josh, here comes Rich. They've got this list for Super Dave, and I'm like, oh my God, they need 30 things. Why can they need so? And then I looked through it, and I'm like, we need every bit of this.
Right.
We need all of this stuff to be good over there. So yeah, kind of a kudos to Josh. Also, everybody in the Wash Bay, of course, Rich, Lexi,
Mackenzie.
yeah, Mackenzie,
Yep.
thank you. And then
And Marco's the new addition.
Marco's the new
Yep.
addition out there.
He's a friend of I think the best friend of Dustin Jr.
Oh, very cool. Yeah, nice. Yeah, there is so many moving parts here. It is mind-boggling to keep up. It just really is, So it's very cool to watch when you really dig in and see everything that's going on.
Yep.
Yeah, mentioning Dustin Jr., Super Dave. Hey, Dustin Sr. or Big Dustin, man, I've been meaning to call you for a week now. Last week I thought about you and your foot, and this week I thought about you, and I just, every time I get a chance, and then I space it out. So hope you're doing well. Hope that foot's healing up, man. I do
Yeah,
think
for
about
sure.
you. We all think about you. Missing you, man.
Yep.
Yeah, and be careful on that little scooter.
He's got one of those.
He was telling me about it. He almost crashed on it. Got a little
Really?
off balance. One of these little scooters that he rests his foot up on.
Yeah.
Got a brake on it and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't hit that foot with those pins in it, boy.
Oh, man. Was that?
Tell you what.
I think we mentioned it, but that picture was ugly.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
I had pins in this hand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And in those days it was the plaster casts. And I had 5 of them. They were sticking out like that, and you
Every
just
time
like
you bang
go-
your test. Yep. Every time you bang that sucker, yeah.
That's when they say it goes right to the bone.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
does,
Take-
literally.
Yeah.
Takes
I
it
mean,
in your knees.
through the bone.
Yeah, I mean, you think
Yeah.
about it, like your hand, you can, and I'm not saying it wasn't difficult, don't get me wrong, Dennis, but at least it's in it. You could do it like on the desk. You could put your shirt on. You can make sure, that covers. You imagine putting your shorts on or your pants on or your underwear, get everything past those pins sticking out of your foot. And yeah, good
Tell you
luck,
what,
Dustin.
You never realize how much you use something because I broke my left hand. Okay, no big deal. I'm a righty. You'd be surprised at things you do with your left hand.
Oh, I
it's
bet.
just like, wow, I'm handicapped.
Yeah. I'd like to do a shout out.
Yeah, do it.
I want to give a shout out to JFW because
Great.
when I came back here with Jim Jr. and Dave, I was in a place, and it started getting better when I first started here. I mean, I had all the tools, I had all the help. Before I would have to wash my own truck, truck washers. Before I would have to change my own tires. I don't have to do that. I mean, it just went from there, and it just blew up. I mean, it just went all really good. I don't know how to explain it. I'm without words on how to explain stuff, but without JFW, without me getting this job, I think I don't know how I would have been. But and then we got the new creed, and this creed relates so much to the Red Road. When I do sweat lodges and stuff like that, attend sweat lodges, and the Red Road is when you're being a good person. You're not judging people. You're being accepting, and you're helping, and and all these words here are of the Red Road, what Native people call Red Road. And it's a tough road. But I've tried to run that Red Road, but I've been next to it quite often because I always fall off. And I just want to give a shout out to everyone, office, everyone in this umbrella.
Awesome.
And my appreciation through my heart.
That's a great shout out, Dennis. So 18 years is a long time, and you've probably seen a lot. Now, you worked here before, and then you moved to Cali. So you worked for Senior?
Mm-hmm.
How many years did you work for Senior?
Well, I want to say about 2.5 years. Yeah.
Okay. And then how long did you go to Cali for?
That time I only stood there for, I don't know, about 6 months.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and I couldn't take it anymore. And when I came back, I got some other jobs, but they were trucking. It was trucking jobs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
How'd you find yourself making your way back to JFW?
Well, I was working for this company, A&M Trucking, and paid. You had to wonder whether the check was going to clear. You had to wonder, was I going to get a check? You had to wonder. It was just stuff, to me, it was trucking. The way trucking was, and I called my friend Joe. He was the dispatcher at A&M, and he wasn't working there. Then I go, "Hey Joe, who's hiring?" And he says, "Well, there's JFW and Martinez." I said, "Okay." So I went and put my application in both places, and both places called me. JFW and Martinez. And I was like, well, which one? And I said, well, I'm going to go with JFW because that's where I used to work. And that was the best decision I've made because I see JFW compared to them at that time and JFW, they're here, and JFW's done past them. They're already ready to lop them. So, I just figured it was a place that I would know, and I knew the boys here.
Were the brothers, when you came back, were the brothers running it, or was Senior still running it?
No, the boys were running it. Jim and Dave.
Okay.
I say boys. I tell them like kids and stuff. They're a lot young. They're a lot younger than I am. Let me tell you.
18 years ago, I was a lot younger.
And when I worked with Senior, they were kids. That Jim was still in high school.
Wow.
Dave was being chased around by his mom. If he got to the shop, he was trying to keep him out of the shop at that time. Yeah. So yeah.
I would have loved to see that. That's so cool. What was a big difference? So you worked for Senior, you came back, and the quote unquote boys are running it. What was the biggest difference you've seen?
Well, times were different then.
Right.
Then to now. I mean, people of color, they didn't. They weren't being hired. They weren't being hired, and I was when I came to Jim Senior. I was putting applications in other places, but I wasn't getting the opportunity. And I finally came to Jim Sr. and I said, I've tried all these places, but they say that I got to have experience and I got to have this or that. And Jim looked at me and said, well, can you start Monday? I said, really? And he's like, yeah, we'll give you a shot. We'll give you a shot. So I came in Monday, started working. He looks at, you know how to drive a 5 and a 4? I go, no. I don't know how to drive a 5 and a 4. And he just kind of explained, well, you put your brownie here, you put your shifter here, you that, and that's what you do. Here's the keys.
So you got orientation. You got they showed you bamboo.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
Right?
Yep. Yeah. So here I go, just scratching everything.
Yeah, and I know those trucks too, Dennis. You never locked the brownie back, did you? Right?
Oh
Get it
yeah,
stuck?
I did. Yes, a couple of times. Yeah.
Man.
I was stuck at one place with my brownie stuck, and Rocco Leon, Leon Trucking. He came in. Hey, how you doing? He was real friendly, and I told him what was on. He goes, well, let me see what I could do. He jumps under there. There you go.
There was an art to unsticking it too, wasn't there?
Yeah.
Yeah, you couldn't just hit it with a hammer. It had to be like
down and over.
you had to like hold your tooth just right. Like,
Yeah.
all right, I'm good. Pop.
Yeah.
I think it was like kind of putting a shoulder in. When the shoulder's out, you can't just snap it in, right? It's got to be in the right spot.
But yes, Jim Sr., he gave me a good chance, and it's been going forward ever since. I mean, as far as trucking,
What do you guys explain to me like I'm in kindergarten? What's a brownie?
So
In kindergarten.
it's the yellow crayon, Jim.
yeah, you've got two shifters. You got first gear, and then your main box is your forward gears in reverse. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, and some have 5 with the hook. And then you shift that brownie back to 2. Come back up to 1, 2, 3.
So the brownie would get stuck, and you'd have to get underneath the truck to fix it, or
It would
It was all
levers,
linkage.
from underneath.
Yeah.
The way
And-
the shifting arms were manufactured, made, they would have the stick come down, and a rod or something would hook up to the transmission like that on each one. And sometimes they're only that far apart, and sometimes they would get somehow stuck, and you'd be stuck. You'd have to get under there and manhandle them and grease to the elbow, getting out.
Yeah. And we loved to run Fords back then. And everything Ford did, they would always put their Ford flare on it and make it opposite what was traditionally manufactured. So, like if, I'm making it up, if Kenworth and Pete had a right-hand linkage, Ford would put a left hand on it. I mean, just everything they did was backwards. So it made it worse. I mean, in my eyes, it made it worse, or it sure didn't make it better.
Yeah.
I didn't really
like
run
that.
into one of Ford's better ideas.
Yeah.
Not that we didn't joke about, this is a better idea.
and thinking that we're talking trucks, these were run off of gasoline.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
you were still in the 534s. Huh?
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Big old gas motor.
Yeah, non-turbo, naturally aspirated gas engines. Yeah, Jam, it's 2 transmissions. You had like a 4 or a 5-speed main box, and then like Dennis is talking about, traditionally it was a 4-speed Brownie, and you had under, low, direct, and over, which don't tell me the difference between under and low, because that sounds like the same thing to me, but that's how it was.
Right.
And I mean, it was funny because we ran, I mean, like right now, we're teetering on running, we're down to like 308 differential ratios. We're teetering on dropping to 296s, I think is the next step. The ratios we ran in those trucks with gas engines, and this was, I mean, to run 55 or 60, you were pretty well tapped out. But if you were running 60 in a loaded tandem back in the day, you were like, it was a dear life crisis moment. You were like, oh shit.
What was your RPM at that speed?
your truck's kind of going like this.
You know, Dennis is weaving side to side.
It's the weave that got you. Dennis
Yeah,
is right.
exactly.
Not the-
Yeah. And it was a bench seat. There was no There was no chairs. You know what I mean? It was
Yeah.
a bench seat.
I thought you were going to say there was no cushion because there's mine when I had phone books.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
I filled my hole with phone books.
Yeah. Yeah. It was an experience.
It was.
Anyway,
but it was
we-
learning. It
yeah.
was a learning. It was
Yeah,
great.
so I mean, back then we were running like 575 ratios, and I know when Jim and I were in the diesel Fords, they were 411s, and then we dropped to 390s, and just blows my mind over the course of time how our engine RPM has come down and our rear end ratio has gone up, for emissions and yeah,
Yeah, I think
it's
when we
crazy
made
what we've seen.
Made the jump to like 355s. That was
yeah.
That's a triple digit truck right there, right?
Yeah, yeah. With a 15 double over, you were definitely triple digit speeds.
You know how we talk about how we take our skills if we left this job and we went somewhere, we take our skills somewhere else. Working with Jim Senior, when I first started, I didn't know nothing about changing wheel seals. I didn't know nothing about changing a bud tire. I didn't know nothing. But when I left, I was able to get another job and be confident. If they asked me if I could do those things, I would have been confident, say, yep, I do know how. So yeah, you just keep learning.
Absolutely. So before 0088, you were in 0038, and we kind of touched on this. Those are both rubble trucks.
Do you want me to give you all the trucks that I was in?
Sure.
Oh my gosh.
Do you remember the truck, the tandem, the Ford, the gas Ford?
The 005, I think, and 001.
Well,
It was 001, I think 005. That was the gas tandems. And then when I came back with Jim, I had 002, 001, 004, 21.
21. You were in 21. Wow.
Yeah, a long time.
Yeah.
I didn't
With-
want you.
with
I didn't
Ed.
want you to sell it.
Yeah, with Ed and
Uh-huh.
stuff, yeah.
And then what was I before 38? I think I was in something before 38, and then 38, and then 88.
Okay. And when did you start hauling rubble?
It was just I don't know, about 12 years. That's whenever Ray left.
Gotcha.
Whenever that was, I want to say 12 years, if not more.
Okay. What's the change in the past 18 years that you've liked the most?
Here,
Yeah.
that I like the most. Well, everything. I mean, there's so much. So much improvement that trucking the way I knew it. Mm-hmm. It just so much.
That's where, not to interrupt you, because I'd love to hear, Dennis, from the changes, but that's where people don't realize, unless you've been in it a while, how much change. And I'm not talking just JFW, but just the trucks, the technology, advancements,
yeah.
right, Dennis?
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
18 years is a long time, but we've had a lot of change in 18 years, which is not very long.
No, but no, there is. I mean, I don't even know how to put anything in words. This is what I meant by me stumbling. I mean, I can't even think of. I mean, the camaraderie and the willingness to help. Usually in past jobs, you break down. They say, "Well, what's wrong?" Okay, I'll go. I'll see you. I'll go tell the boss. And you're there tinkering around trying to fix things. But radios, everything. Trucks are better. Wheels are better. Fuel's even better.
Yeah,
It's the whole industry is come a long way, and that in itself makes it better. And not to be just a truck driver is I mean that being just a truck driver, what, Jim? I raised my kids. I raised my sister's kids. I mean, we got in cars. I've gotten a house. I mean, without that's what being here with backup knowing the security of this company, I didn't have to worry. I just kept on going, just like Dad says, pick up your pants and keep on going.
Is there a change that you like the least?
I don't know.
There's got to be something you didn't enjoy.
I mean, it's
You said earlier, I won't say.
We're all adults here.
I don't know. Everything's good. I don't see any changes. I don't see no negative.
Okay.
You know,
Good.
I don't see no negative.
But if you had something, lay it on us, Dennis. Come on. Come on.
What was it I said, Dave?
Oh, well, we were talking about what things you would miss or wouldn't miss.
Yeah.
And you looked right at me and said, I'm not going to miss that alarm clock at 3:30 in the morning.
Those are things, yes.
And then you said, no, I won't say that.
That's funny. Our,
I did.
our hours, right, Dennis?
Well, it's
The
not that.
hours.
It's your hours. It's the hours.
The hours. Yeah, right.
It's
right.
not your hours. That
So-
you know. It's
so true.
It's my choice, right? I don't have to.
that's
I didn't.
true.
I don't have
Yep.
to. And
Yep.
and it was my choice. And those are choices to battle with. I don't want to say.
I got
battle,
news
but-
for you, Dennis. It's going to be a while before you stop waking up at 3:30 in the morning because you're going to wake up at that time no matter what. You've been doing it your whole life.
Yeah. And even before then, even before here, I mean, trucking, 4:00, out the gate, get going, you know.
Yep.
And I don't know how I did it then, but I would stay out. I wasn't with Diana at the time, and I would stay out late, get up early.
You were creating your street cred.
Yeah, there. I had street cred. I had a reputation to uphold. But yeah,
That makes me proud of you, Dennis, and proud of us when you mentioned raising your kids, raising your sister's kids that you've taken on, buying a house, having cars, and you know that's all we all can do. But sometimes it's tough for people just to take that step and just keep going. Just make it happen. It falls into place when you're a steady Eddie and apply yourself in anything.
Yeah.
It's tough for people to understand some days.
and some days it just hasn't been easy. Just like
No.
I come in, and walk by Jim or Dave, and don't look at me. Get out of my way, and it's just something.
We all have
just
those
keep on
days,
going.
though, right, Dennis?
Yep.
You know what I mean? I had never heard that before, but I loved your description, the red road.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I loved your description. Sometimes I wasn't on it; I was just next to it.
Well, it's there. It's there.
Yeah, I think it's great. Like our creed, you have something that you aspire to be, but you're just not always there. Right? Some days you are, some days you
fall
aren't.
off.
And that's not an excuse, but you have to have that wake up call. You have to have that moment. You have to have that, I got to do better.
Stay
that
in balance.
Yeah, whether it's a pep talk with, from someone or, just your realization or whatnot.
Absolutely.
You mentioned it. Jim mentioned it. I was really worried Jim was going to steal my thunder because I just really want to give a big thank you to you, Dennis, as a human being. And one of the things that I want to touch upon is it's probably pushing 10 years ago now, the way time flies. Maybe not quite that long, but you took on, you said you raised your kids, you raised nephews and nieces and whatnot. And I know you had a niece in there that was probably the roughest in the group, right?
She's still pretty rough.
But here's the deal. No matter how her life has turned out or is going to turn out, I watched you do everything in your power. You and Diana do everything you could for that young lady.
Yep.
And I mean, you would come in and tell me stories, and I don't want to call it a horror story, but for me, the way I've been, I'll say I've been so lucky. I don't want to say I've been privileged because I don't think you're ever privileged from those experiences. I think I'm truly lucky and fortunate that I didn't have to raise Jim's kids. He did a great job. I didn't have to take on a friend's kids, because they did a good job. And I lived that experience through you, and man, it just opened my eyes. Everything you did for that niece was out of pure love, out of pure the right thing to do. All of that momentum and energy that you and Diana put into that relationship. No matter how that girl turns out, she needs to be thankful to you too, and I am proud.
I think she is, but she struggles a lot. She needs special attention.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she's struggling now. I mean, she's going through some stuff now that she's got 2 babies. So yeah, and but I think she'll be okay once she finds the right help, because I can't help her. I mean, I don't know what else to do.
You have helped her. a
Yeah,
lot.
that's my point, Dennis. She's better now, whether you believe it or not, than she would have been without your and Diana's help.
Yeah,
She is.
yeah.
Yeah. And I thank you for sharing that experience with us. It means a lot to me.
Well, you would have done the same thing. Anybody here would have done the same thing. It's family. You don't want to see your family disperse. Be dispersed at a young age to where you don't know where they're going to be at or anything. And family takes care of family. And bottom line.
Supposed to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
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 Not
No
all-
matter what.
Not all families.
Yeah, I mean,
operate
no
like
matter
that.
what, no matter good or bad, you
Very
gotta
true.
you gotta step up. You gotta, and I was there, and I'm the oldest of the family, so
Who's
Yeah.
the prettiest?
prettiest would be my sister. Men aren't pretty.
That's funny, Dave. When you mentioned the red road, what popped it, because you said you were beside it, and what popped into my head, and I wrote down ditch. And I was like, do you know how many times I've been in the ditch?
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right? And just,
Right.
somebody's come along and helped me, or like you said, Dave, or helped yourself out, or had to pull yourself out, or, me and Dave have been in the ditch together. I remember leaving him in a
Yeah,
snowstorm.
physically and literally, right?
In the
Or
ditch.
mentally and physically.
Yeah, he was a little upset at me the one time I left him.
Sometimes you got to learn.
Sometimes
It wasn't my fault, Dennis.
it was my fault, Dennis.
You were there though, right?
We got through it together.
Yeah,
There you go.
we kind of crashed in the ditch.
Who was driving?
Me.
And then you left Dave.
Yeah, after he helped me shovel out,
Nice.
I went back and got him. Jam, come
That's
on.
funny.
Well, you did learn a lesson though, right?
Absolutely.
You make
doesn't-
sure Jim's
yes.
out there with you and holding on to him before you let
He
go.
doesn't let me drive anymore.
Yeah, you talk about, the new term, the red road, or being next to it, and aspiring to live out the creed. Yesterday I didn't feel like I did my best. You know what I mean? I felt like I was trying to do my best, but then coming in here this morning and talking to you guys, I'm like, wow, I didn't do a fucking good job yesterday at all. Not that you guys weren't projecting that on me, but I'm like, holy shit, today's got to be better. You know what I mean? And it's like you got to return to joy quickly. Like, you can't hang on to yesterday. You want, you know what I mean? But it's like, okay, yeah, duly noted.
Yep.
And what to me, what's a blessing, though, Jam, and not for you, lots of people do this, is you recognize, wow, yesterday was a mess. I'm going to change it today. Some people, they get stuck in the ditch,
Right.
And that's where we lose
Yeah.
people. That you can't dwell on that. You can't keep thinking about that. You can't beat yourself up. Got to take the next step. Everybody does.
Absolutely.
Yeah, there's this book that I read called Rare Leadership, and I think I've talked to you guys about it. But a couple of those things are enduring hardship well, like going through hard things well, like not hanging on to it, and returning to joy quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Those are signs of good leaders. Is when like, okay, well that sucked, but we're gonna get back on track, and we're gonna be happy and do it joyfully. So,
I call it being in balance. Bad with good. It always there's always a reward and a giving.
right.
Yep.
Absolutely.
So true.
Dennis, I'm gonna call you out on something though, because you said, there's nothing to complain about. But I do remember when we got the cameras, you were not happy.
No, well, not like I was throwing a tantrum or anything like that. It was just like, I don't. It's damn close to
little bit.
government watching me now. Now my company's watching
The
me.
government's watching. It was just because you're not pretty, right, Dennis? You
That's
didn't want to be
right.
on camera.
That's right.
I'm not the pretty one.
Well,
I see. Let me straighten something. Somebody one day said pretty, for a guy, and I said, no, you're not pretty. Pretty is for girls. Handsome is for men. So we're not pretty.
Can you be pretty handsome?
You could be pretty handsome with your wife, yeah.
He'd be pretty ugly too.
Yeah, you see?
Let's not go
There's a
there.
joke out there.
That's
too
with your
that
brother, right?
says, "Yeah, you sure got a pretty mouth."
Yeah. Yeah.
I just watched that again the other day. It's such a great movie. Well, I recall you being pretty vocal about not enjoying them, and we've told this story on the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
I remember your camera. It was a Surfside camera. It went down. We couldn't fix it. We needed a new one, and I didn't have a spare. I came to the JFW West Yard and took your camera out, and you...
Was it at the West Yard or was I at the fuel? No, we weren't fueling there yet.
Might have been Shoko.
Was it someplace?
It was either Shoko. I think maybe I ran up to Shoko.
Yeah,
and I grabbed your camera, and you're like, well, I feel naked.
Yeah.
Yeah, unprotected. So what was the pivotal moment for you on the cameras? What was the turning point?
When Jose had an accident over there at Castle Rock, that 3-lane right turn.
Oh yeah, going to Plant 39.
And that pickup come around him, and
Yeah.
that pickup was blaming him.
Yeah.
And we showed him the camera, and he hung his head down, But after that, I was like, wow, how he got exonerated is the word.
Yeah.
And I said, man, that's for me.
Yeah.
Because cars are cutting you off all day long, and we're, I don't know how we got the persona of cutting cars off and hitting cars and moving them out of our way, but it's actually the other way around. And so I just didn't want to be without a defense.
Mm-hmm.
Good. So I was like, when are we getting the other one? When are you going to put the other one in? Now I want to get one for my car, for my own self.
Yeah.
And
They're your best friend.
And I wish I would have had one the other day. About 4 weeks ago, I was going home. I was in my turning lane to turn up my street, and a big pickup was coming down on the number 1 lane, and he had those long. There was a big Ram truck with those long moose mirrors. I guess that's what they call them. Mm-hmm. And he was coming hard, and his mirror tagged my mirror, and I ducked, and I got mirror shrapnel all on my arm, and my pickup's all pitted with mirror shrapnel. And
Were you able to get all that taken care of, Dennis? Because I know we talked several weeks ago about that.
yeah, I have an appointment on the 20th. They kept putting me on, but I stood with them because they guarantee it for life as long as I own the pickup, or else I would have went to somebody else.
Very cool.
That's what talked me out of it. They told me that for life they would be guaranteed. So
Yeah.
after I talked to you,
Yeah. That means something.
So cameras, man, you're gonna hear it from me. I love them.
And rightfully so, Dennis. First of all, that corner that you were talking about, making that left-hand turn, man, we had more than one accident over there.
Oh, yes.
And we've probably caught 3 or 4 more we weren't involved in on camera. But it's just like people just don't get it over there. They just drive straight through there and get nailed. So.
That wasn't even Jose over there. That got into that accident.
Well,
that
Chris, was it Chris?
Omar, you don't work with us now.
Like you said, we had like 4 drivers that had the exact same thing happen.
He was a Native American guy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Chris.
Chris.
That's it.
Yeah, and then we had another one
Chris
over there.
Brandt.
Chris
Yeah.
Brandt, yeah.
That
But
one.
yeah, I mean, the cameras exonerated us from so many accidents. It's ridiculous. So, cool. So what are you going to do with your time off, Dennis? What's your plan?
And with those cameras, Jim, I'm liking the Samsara
Better?
better, a whole lot. Yeah,
Why?
tells you what you're doing.
Nice. So you like the
talks to you.
coaching? You like the coaching?
Absolutely.
That's awesome to hear, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the old cameras, those Surfside cameras, they did not have coaching on them. These cameras do coach you up, and that's great that you appreciate. So you feel that it changed your driving habits?
Yep.
Nice.
Absolutely.
Wait a second. You've been driving trucks forever and a day.
What do I
And
know?
you're telling me a camera changed the way you drive?
Yep.
That's awesome, man.
And what I'm looking for a word here, Dennis. This isn't a test, but what did it do in the big scheme of things? It made you a blank driver.
It made me a better driver.
Thank you. That is exactly what I was looking
I
for.
feel like you listen to the podcast. That's good stuff. What are you going to do with all your spare time, Dennis?
Oh, I don't know right away. You know, I've thought a lot of things. I told Jim one of my thoughts was, I used to back in the day, you know, like, gee, I was only 13. I used to help the farm workers, Cesar Chavez, and I used to go to a lot of demonstrations, a lot of picketing, a lot of boycotting.
Wow.
And I thought maybe I'll go back with because I am a member of Cesar Chavez, and I thought maybe I'll go back and help them, you know, work with things. But I don't know. I want to relax. I want to sit. I just don't want to have to get up at 3:00 to go to a tomato field, you know, and yeah. So I don't know. I haven't really made up my mind. But first of all, I'm gonna relax.
Nice.
I was thinking about getting a boat and just.
Is Diana retired as well? Does she work?
She's close to it.
Okay.
She got like about 4 more years.
Okay. Cool. Nice.
Yeah.
So you're gonna be home alone for a little bit.
Oh yeah. No, I will be, but I got a lot of work. I mean, a house has so much more work than work.
Right?
You know,
It's never ending, isn't it,
No.
Dennis?
Joys of ownership, isn't it?
Oh, my
Yeah,
gosh.
when you start and wow.
and then when you don't know how to do something, you start making a few phone calls. You go to YouTube University and you go, well, I got to do this, and you kind of hesitate. You know, the first swing of that hammer is, oh, I got this.
Yeah, that's great.
So we know you're not going to miss waking up, but what will you miss the most about leaving JFW?
The camaraderie, the people, the smiles. You know, you come walking up to somebody and they smile and they stick their hand out. Hey, Dennis. You know, hey. You know, that's the big word now. Hey, but
That's your street cred. Everybody
that's
knows you.
it. No, my street cred is just like that. But the people, I'm gonna miss everything, and then I'm gonna miss what's next, what's coming. You know,
Yeah.
because it's there's that word. It's only gonna get better.
It's ever
The way I
evolving.
see it.
Yeah. Look at what's changed. We'll say in the last 5 years. What'll change in the next 5 years, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
Dennis, I'm curious. When did you start working?
Working.
I mean, I'm sure, like
Working-
during school, you worked in the summers and stuff
Yeah.
like that, right? I mean,
Well, I call it work, but I wasn't getting paid. But my grandpa, he had a little bit of land, probably as big as from the curb to the back ear, and just as wide.
yeah.
And he grew crops on it. And in the summer, I would have to go down and help with the field, watering it, and picking vegetables. And at that time, I was only 8 years old. And sometimes I would go help my uncle, and me and my mom, we had a system. I would cut the cucumbers. She'd give me that like curved knife, and I would grab the cucumbers and clip them, throw them out. She'd come up behind me, put them in the basket, because they didn't have tubs those days. They had those baskets, those wooden baskets.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah, with the two handles.
Yeah.
right?
Metal handles woven in.
Yeah.
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 And well, they were metal handles, and she would put them in there and put them there, and then I would drag. She would carry them. I'd be dragging one because I was too small. I was like, geez, working in the fields, and then first job I got to get paid for. We lived in North Denver off of 36th, and I wanted a 10-speed bike because 10 speeds, and my dad said, "Well, I ain't getting it for you. You're gonna have to get a job for it." And at that time, I was only like barely turned 13. So we lived. I knew of a restaurant. You guys might remember it. The original Hacienda Mexican Cafe right there on 36th by the old 20th Street Viaduct.
Oh, I didn't know that was the original.
Yeah, I didn't either.
The original
I had no idea.
Yeah.
Hacienda, Colorado. I had no idea.
Hacienda, Colorado was the original Mexican Cafe Hacienda, I think. Something like that.
No, I had no idea.
But at that time, I must have been maybe, I was 13. I probably weighed about 90 pounds, and I was busting tables. I was able to learn how to hold 5 glasses in a hand, and that's when I got paid. That's when I started getting paid. So actually, I started working 8 years old when they put me out in the fields.
Yeah.
About 8 years old, yeah.
Nice.
What's the funniest thing that has happened to you here at JFW?
Wow. It's a thing now. It's a thing now. But there was a morning that I was to come to work here to JFW, and I'm all ready to go, but I didn't have no keys to the car, to my Bronco, and I'm going crazy. And I go, who am I going to call? Who am I going to call? You're going to have to call Jim, she says. You're going to have to call Jim or Dave. I said, I can't call them to come and pick me up. Well, I had to call them because I could not find my keys. And throughout the day, I thought, where are those keys? I mean, they picked me up so I can go to work for them. So, and it turns out that the keys were in the refrigerator on top of the butter.
I tell that story all the time, Dennis.
So did you just?
And I do too.
Did you just go home and open the fridge to grab a beer?
No, Diana was home. She wasn't working at the. I don't think she had a job then.
Apparently, Diana gets his beer for him.
But she calls me on the phone. Guess where I found the keys? I'm like, you found them? Where? In the refrigerator. I'm like, in the refrigerator? How crazy.
That's funny.
How silly.
I mean, I've done silly things like look for my phone while it's in my hand.
Yeah.
Yeah, putting the keys in the fridge. Super Dave, you said that's bad news, isn't it? Isn't that what you said yesterday?
Yeah, it can be.
He specifically said, just so you know, Dennis.
Thanks, Jim.
He's not going to let this one go.
Yeah,
I tried to sidestep that.
he's been reading books on memory to help his memory out. And he said,
But he
it
didn't
says,
remember.
if you don't remember where you put something, it's not a big deal. But if you put your keys in the fridge, that's a sign of trouble.
I feel like it now. Yeah. There's things that I'm gonna go do, and I get to that point and like, what was I gonna do? What was it? And that's scary. To me, that's scary.
That happens to me all the time. So.
Yep.
You have any advice for the newer generation of truck drivers coming through the fleet right now, Dennis?
Patience. Respect yourself. I mean, it's what it is. It's, in order to go forward, you have to respect yourself. Ask for help. Ask for help when you need it. There's always somebody here to help you. Give your opinion because your opinion matters here.
Yep.
And yourself to be helpful. Wait and see, it's going to get better. I just have a feeling. I don't know. I just don't know how to explain that, but you guys are gonna do great.
You gonna come by time to time and pop in and say hi?
Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
I'm gonna stop recording the podcast for a minute because we have some people that want to say goodbye to you. So.
Hey Dennis, this is Double OG wishing you a happy retirement and has enjoyed working with you.
Hi, Dennis. This is Amber. We never really got an opportunity to meet, but I know you've been going on 18 years here at JFW, and I just want to wish you well. And on to new paths in life and new adventures. Congratulations, and let's make the best of it.
Hey, what's up, Mr. Dennis? Andrew 0052, man. Just wanted to say it was nice working with you, man. Thanks for helping me out with all that Rebel stuff. So have a good time with retirement, man. Enjoy the rest of retirement, bro. Gonna miss you, man.
Dennis, it's Angie. I just wanted to thank you for all your hard work. Have a great retirement. Enjoy yourself. God bless.
Hey, Dennis, this is Ann. Hey, I just wanted to wish you good luck on your retirement and hope you have some pleasant retirement wishes to bestow upon yourself. I know you have lots of family and they'll support you, but I know you need some relaxation and some time to yourself. So congrats again.
Hey, Dennis. Big John 0035, just wishing you the best of luck in your retirement and just hope you have Godspeed. Been a great 5 years. Thank you, Dennis.
Hey, Dennis, congratulations on retirement and hope nothing but the best for you. And really looking forward to hearing that 0088 clear for the last time. Congrats, buddy.
Hey, Dennis, it's Holly White. Just wanted to wish you a happy retirement. We're going to miss you. You've been a part of our family for a real long time. We'll miss you and your wife coming to our Christmas parties. Hope we'll see you around soon. Come back and visit us.
Hey, Dennis, this is Joanne. I just wanted to say and wish you a very happy retirement. And I hope that you enjoy all your time off and enjoy all your family. So good luck to you, and thanks for all that you did for us.
Well, what's up, D? Wish you the best in your retirement. You've helped me a lot over the years. It's been good times, running hard, trucking hard, and I wish you the best out there, man. Take care.
Hey, Dennis. It's JR here, buddy. Hey, man, just wanted to tell you happy retirement, bud. Been here for 6+ years already, and since the day I met you, you've been a great help for me. Learned a lot of experiences from you, and still remember the first trial run to Fair Play when we were testing out that run in our rock tubs. Don't remember what truck you were in, but I remember I was in 001 at the time, and it was it's been great running with you, buddy. You're going to be definitely missed around here, and hearing your voice and being helpful all the time. Thanks, Dennis. You have a good one, man.
Hey, what's going on, Mr. Dennis? I just want to tell you goodbye. It was a pleasure meeting you, bud, back in, 2015 when I first started back with JFW. It was a pleasure and it was an honor meeting you and working with you, bud. Wish you the best of luck in your near future, and keep in touch. You got my number, and see when we get together for a barbecue or something like that and a couple beers. 10-4. Have a good one, bud. God bless.
Well, Mr. Dennis, happy retirement, sir. Thank you for everything that you showed me, taught me, not only here at JFW, but in life. Enjoy your retirement, and hope to talk to you soon. Thank you.
Hey, Dennis. Pedro here. Just wanted to wish you farewell and happy wishes on your retirement, and enjoy this part of your life. Good luck.
Hey, my brother, Dennis, Lakota. You're the brother, Marty, Cherokee. Anyhow, just want to wish you a very good extra time off. Come on. Yes, sir. Love you, brother. Hope you enjoy your vacation and your retirement. Have fun.
Hey, Dennis. Thanks for being that team player out there and helping everybody in their needs and dumping, where to go, everything they needed. You jumped in on it. So thanks. Have a good retirement life, and stop by and see us. Have a good one, buddy.
Hey, Dennis, me, Rosario. Your 0086-year-old neighbor at the West Yard. Just wanted to wish you best luck. Hope you enjoy your retirement. It's nice working with you.
Hey, Dennis, you've been an asset to GFW. We appreciate all your safety tips and advice that you announce over the radio. I won't forget the funny stories we would swap waiting in the driver room and waiting for our dispatch on snow days. The one that really stands out is when you sedated a guy in a bar with a beer bottle. That was hilarious. You've definitely earned your retirement badge. Congratulations, sir. 0088, you are clear for retirement. We've got it from here. Meep, meep. Sandman out.
Hey, Dennis, Scooby. Hey, I just want to say what a great time I had with you throughout the many years that we've worked together from the first time I was here and coming back again. I'm going to miss you. Happy retirement, my brother. Enjoy And be safe, my friend.
Yo, Dennis, it's Seabass. Just want to wish you a good retirement. It was nice knowing you. Got to meet you. Good luck and enjoy it, man. Peace out.
Hey, Dennis, I just wanted to wish you the best of luck with retirement. Congratulations. I enjoyed every minute of getting to know you while I was doing Rock Tub. Good luck to you and your wife with your retirement.
So I'm sure there's a lot more people that wanted to say goodbye. Those are the people I could catch.
Yeah, I'm surprised. I mean, not surprised, but I'm grateful.
Yeah, it's
I'm
pretty
grateful.
cool. Yeah. So while we were listening to those, you told us a story about Scooby helped change your signature.
Yeah. Well, I changed it to a better reading signature.
So basically, you said your D's look like a P.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
funny.
And I was leaving the room one day and I heard laughter behind my back. So
I hate it when that happens.
Yeah. So it kind of upset me, and I just kept on going. Like I said, I picked up my pants and just kept on going, and I figured out what they were amusing themselves with, and well, I changed it. I have my D to a very nice looking D.
Perfect. So somebody did mention your safety tips for a safety topic this week. We want to give you that floor, Dennis. What's the one thing in regards to safety that you would like to preach about today?
Well, I would like to preach about the Samsara.
Great.
It's helped me quite a bit. I mean, I wait for I don't wait for something, but when it comes out, I just got a couple of warnings the other day, actually 2 days ago, and it didn't look like to me it was for following distance, and it didn't look like I was as close as I thought I was, but as far as Samsara was, I was too close. I was following too close. And the way I look at it is Samsara saves me from, if anything happened in front of me, I was too close with the load of using my overweight permit, and I had to stop suddenly. Samsara is there to help me, saying, hey, you're too close. You're going to run over that family with the newborn kid just coming from the hospital to take that baby home, you know? And it helps me. I said, I'll back off. That's not even close. But I'm backing off anyway.
Sure.
Because it knows better than me. Technology is better than my perspective. So that's the safety tip, and just take it. Safety tip is following distance. Just like I said, that has to be the worst. I mean, you're gonna get there, and if you're late, there's somebody. You just make a call, and somebody's gonna make a phone call, and somebody's gonna be there angrily waiting for you either way. But you're gonna be there safe. So following distance, speed is really gets me too. I cringe when I see somebody going 72 on a 65, you know, with lights that are unpredictable. It just so scary to see a speeding truck. Safety distance, that's just, you know, that's one of my things is safety distance, and I do fall short of it occasionally.
Yeah,
probably throughout the day, you know,
and the
all day long.
reminds you, right?
And it does.
Yeah.
And it makes me better because I don't argue with it, you know. Oh, shut up, you know. No, I said, oh man. I start getting back on myself. Come on, Dennis, you're too close.
Right.
Come on.
Right.
So I just back off and.
Yep. Yeah, that's my pet peeve too, is following too close. So I'm right with you.
It's scary.
Yeah, it is. Just coming into work today, coming down 36. I was in the middle lane. This pickup truck's coming down, flying down the left lane, which ends, right? So he couldn't beat me, and I wasn't racing. I was just driving. I just noticed, like, holy shit, this guy's about to pass me, and then he backed out. Then he got behind me, too close, and I'm just steady Eddie. Then he got on my right, tried to pass me, and by that time there was a car in front of him. And I was like, man, this guy is just, how much energy are you putting into getting to work right now? So I ended up backing out of it just because I didn't want to be near that. You know, if he makes a mistake, now I'm in it. But, man, just back off.
Yeah. Yeah, guys like that, I try and get out of their way.
Yeah.
Just go on there. I don't need to brake check them. I don't need to hold them off. I don't need to,
Yeah.
because you know as well as I, with the level of skill we all have from driving all of these years, you could seriously jack with someone when you want to.
Oh, yeah.
Even if you're in a big truck, you could seriously jack with someone.
Speed up
right?
a little bit so they don't,
Yeah,
you know,
don't
slow
give them
down
the
a little
room,
bit.
but leave enough of a gap so they can't make it, but they see it.
Right.
You know, I mean, you could jack with anybody anytime you want, but you're better let that guy go on, let that gal go on, whatever it is.
let him crash somewhere
That
else.
bugs me too when they do that. I mean, me, I slow down.
If somebody's tailgating me, I'll never, ever brake check somebody.
Oh, I
'cause
don't. I don't hit the brakes.
Yeah, I just get off
I
the
just slow
throttle.
down.
Yeah, you just slow down
So they can go around.
Oh, I got to go around.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they'll- They won't be able to take it for more than
No.
another second, and then
Because they got to go.
Exactly.
Yeah, and there's people like you were talking about, Jam, but there's also the people that, you know, we joke about it, and I think we said it before, are like sheep. They get right to you, and they'll just sit there with you, and until you slow up, and they go, oh, I can go around this guy, or how about when you try to pass somebody and they speed up, but they're not doing it on purpose. They're just, oh, we need to go faster, or we need to go slower. Or, you know, me and Dave's riding back and forth with each other, and you pull up to that person, and that person speeds up, but then you slow up a little bit, and that person slows up with you, and you're just like, no, that's hilarious.
You can almost pretend I'm a magnet and I'm going to pull this person.
Yeah, I've seen
slower or faster.
I've seen cars follow big trucks so close, a big truck starts exiting, and the car starts exiting.
follow it. Yeah,
You know, and then they're like, oh shit, I'm not going to that warehouse.
That happened to me the other day. I was going down Santa Fe, going to Union, and a car come off of Hampton, and I'm going forward. He just came up behind me, a car, and pretty soon I can't see the car. I said, well, God damn it, what are you doing back there? I start getting edgy, you know, worrying. And so I just keep going at my normal speed. And up ahead, somebody had dropped a empty bucket, and it was in the middle of the lane. So I said, watch this. Watch this. So I come up to the bucket, and I moved out of the way of the bucket just in time. The car behind me, he was so close, he didn't see what I was doing.
Sure.
He hit that bucket. He had to pull over to pull the bucket out from under his undercarriage.
Don't you love that? I love that.
Yeah, that following too close. I got a lot of stories on those. Yeah. I just slow down.
Yep. I'm with you on that. Soup, you got a high road hauling for us?
Of course. I got just a short, sweet one this week. I don't know, it rang true to me when I picked it out, and hopefully it'll ring true to anybody that's thinking about this sort of thing right now. So today's high road hauling, Dennis, you actually touched on this earlier about be thankful. And you're very thankful for JFW. I hope everybody can be thankful for something out there. But being thankful that you don't already have everything you desire. If you did, what would there to be look forward to? Be thankful when you don't know something, for it gives you the opportunity to learn. Be thankful for the difficult times, for those times you grow. Be thankful for your limitations. They give you opportunities for improvement. Be thankful for each new challenge, which will build your strength and character. Be thankful for your mistakes. They will teach you valuable lessons. Be thankful when you're tired and weary, because it means you've given your all. It's easy to be thankful for the good things, yet a life of rich fulfillment comes to those who are thankful for the setbacks. Gratitude can turn a negative into a positive. Find a way to be thankful for your troubles, and they can become your blessings. And the author of that is unknown. But the quote this week is by Joseph B. Worthlin. He was a leader of the Church of Latter-day Saints, but he said, sometimes we should express our gratitude for the small and simple things like the scent of rain, the taste of your favorite food, or the sound of a loved one's voice. Be thankful.
Good one.
Sometimes you can't replace that smell of rain.
Right? Love it.
That's just that,
Love
like
it.
on wet grass or newly mowed grass, just some of those smells that are just like, so many memories. Makes you.
My favorite is sweetgrass.
Yeah.
Yeah, it smells so good.
Is that a funny name for? Never mind.
What is it?
But that might be. Never mind. Yeah. Sweetgrass.
Sweetgrass. It used to grow here, but it got plowed under. But now it's grown up in Canada, and it grows by in marshes and stuff like that. And,
okay.
And I have one in the truck, but they're braided together. You braid them, and it's supposed to be when you get company, you're supposed to light it, and it's for energy, and it smudges. It's like a smudging tool.
Gotcha.
Huh.
Yeah. Americans use sage.
Do they?
Yeah, you do too.
I use
You
sage,
asked me
yeah,
to bring
but
some back from Montana, Dennis, and
You bring me a
I
whole
was
bush.
I was so worried it was going to
He brings
get
you a whole bush.
messed up. So I put it underneath my one of my storage compartments, and so the whole rest of the way home, I'd open my storage compartment and smell your sage.
It smells
that's
so
for
good.
Dennis.
It does. Yeah, I still have some too. And but it's for cleanse. It's for like smudging. Both are like smudging.
Right.
I think the Canadians, Indian natives use the sweetgrass, but it smells so good.
Got it.
I'll bring it, wet it, and you'll smell it. And every time anybody smells it, they go, that smells good.
Final thoughts, everyone?
Want me to jump in, Dave?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So I wrote this down. It's funny, Dennis, as we do the podcasts, we mention something like, oh, that was exactly what we were thinking. Or I don't know, I guess that's part of what I've enjoyed doing these week after week is we all think alike or something comes up during the week. So when you mentioned pretty, I was looking a thought up, and it says here, and it was from, let me see. Gosh, who was it from? Oh, no, I don't know who the quote was from. Anyway, it says, put your hand on a hot stove and it seems like an hour. Sit with a pretty girl for an hour and it seems like a minute. That's relativity. Who did relativity? Why can't I think of
Einstein.
Einstein. It was an Einstein quote. So I was thinking, Dennis, that, a pretty girl, which is probably the 40s or 50s kind of thing. I don't know if you'd really say a pretty girl now or if that would be correct. But I was thinking a beautiful person. And Dennis, you're a beautiful person, and the last 18 years have seemed like a minute being spent with you. And I think we run into so many beautiful people. That's kind of to turn it into my final thought. And, beautiful people as in just exceptional people. And when you spend time with them, you recognize that, but it's always too short. Even if it's an hour, it just seems like a minute. It's not like putting your hand on that hot stove and that minute was just painful because it seemed like an hour. So thank you for everything, Dennis. And I can't say what a great employee, friend, person you are. Dave brought it up. You've persevered through family things and just you are a beautiful person.
Thank you.
I kind of wanted to say this because I was going to joke with you that because of everybody's hard work and stuff here, I'm taking a vacation. But to celebrate your retirement, I'm going to Puerto Vallarta for a week, and so I won't be here Friday. And I know that's your official retirement. So I wish you the best, and thank you for everything, Dennis.
Well, what do you have? What Puerto Vallarta? What do you have when you're on the beach drinking?
Right? What is their drink?
Yeah.
Right? I'll
Margarita?
snap a picture. A margarita? Yeah, Mexico. I mean,
I don't know.
I know sometimes the resorts have their drink.
I'm going to say whatever you want.
Right?
Have a drink for me.
I will, Dennis. I will cheer you. So.
Probably can't go wrong with some tequila.
Right? Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, thanks, buddy. Appreciate it.
You're welcome. I appreciate it.
Soup or BD? One of you guys?
Yeah, I mean, Dennis, my final thoughts, I kind of, mentioned earlier, basically, just I'm so proud of how you took on your family needing your help, and those were life lessons for me. We talk about this all the time on the podcast, that we like to learn. Usually it's from someone's mistake. This clearly wasn't a mistake. I admire the decisions you made. You made me become a better person watching those things unfold, and I want to thank you for that. I think about that all the time when I think of you and Diana. It's impressive. So thank you for being a great human being, a great person, a great advocate for JFW, and going to miss you, buddy. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm going to miss everything. I mean, geez, I might stay if I'm going to get in all this.
No. Wait till Friday.
Yeah,
we'll talk you into staying.
Okay, we'll see. I'm easy, but I appreciate it. Everyone.
Yeah. Soup.
Yeah, Dennis, I want to touch on that too. We talked before the podcast, so nobody heard it, but I just got to say that every time when one of the longtime guys here leaves, it leaves me feeling really empty. We've had a lot of guys that have retired, Captain Ron, Animal, Ed, and now you, Dennis, and so it's the end of an era. I wish you the very, very best moving forward, and we love you.
Thank you. Love you all too.
Dennis, I just want to thank you for being you, for being true to yourself, for speaking your mind, for sitting on our safety committee meetings for many years, and also for being open-minded. For an old truck driver, you're pretty open-minded, where we could come to you and, I mean, I've seen you put your dukes up, but I've also seen you take them down and self-reflect. And, just be a sound, solid, rational person. So thanks for bleeding JFW and all that you've done here.
Thank you.
All right.
Yeah. Well put, Jim. When you fight for that change, you got your dukes up and you're fighting that little bit of change, but you just put them down at one point.
Hey, maybe this isn't so bad.
Right. Yeah, you did that with I guess it's, I don't know, not to add on to all your guys' stuff, but like Dave said, when you look at the growth, you give us a mindset and a path. You are emulating the Red Road.
Yep. I try to. It's tough. But I remember that one day, Jim and I putting dukes up. That's when somebody had gotten a truck and I had wanted it. I wanted a new truck. Or anyway, and Jim comes walking up to me, and he was upset, I could tell, and we were talking about the truck, and he expressed why I wasn't considered, and I expressed why I should have been, and it ended up at the end of the conversation, it was me saying, it's okay, I'll be all right. They're just trucks. There's going to be more of them. That was the end of that conversation, and we both agreed, yes, there's going to be more of them. Went to work.
There you go.
Yep.
I love it.
You remember that day?
Yeah, absolutely.
So things haven't changed much.
Yeah, we still miss people or have our reasons, or
But man,
they win their truck.
That resolution seems a lot easier than what we deal with sometimes.
Yeah.
but-
Well, like when I talked to Jim when I gave him my notice, I said, Jim, I told him what I was going to do. We've had our ups, we've had our downs, we've had our evens, we've been around, and
That's family.
Mm-hmm.
and I'm sorry that I have to even say this, and he's seen me struggling with that.
Yeah, absolutely.
I was gonna mention something a week ahead before, but I just couldn't bring myself to come in and go up the stairs. So finally, I got to do this. I got to, because then it's just going to be a 2 weeks notice,
Right.
So
you remember what I said to you though, and I understood it was difficult, but this is a joyous event. It's the next step in life.
Yeah, it is.
Should no matter how hard it is, it's the next step.
I get that euphoria, like, oh my God, what am I going to do now? I mean, I know I'm going to relax. I know I'm going to have time to do stuff. but it's just like, what am I going to do? But I do have things to do. I still have my dad to take care of. You know, he's before the second on my last day, before taking care of my dad, before it was, I'll see you Saturday, I'll see you Sunday. Now it's, when do you need me? I can be there anytime you want. You know, so
that's awesome.
Yeah, that's the important stuff, right?
Yep.
You know, when can you be there for your dad?
Yeah. Man, Dennis, if I knew you were going to be such a great guest, we would have had you on sooner. But here we are. Let's finish with the creed and get on out of here.
Let me have one of those, Dennis. Or you got? No, let me. I just want to read it together with you guys and try to do a better job.
I got it right here.
Jam and Super Dave, they have it memorized. You
Right?
guys, they're better than I am at this.
Me as well. That's the reason I printed them, Jim.
It's just the amount of times you've had to say it in an interview, you learn it. you
Right?
I would say it sometimes in the morning when the radios were too quiet. I was like, hey, guys were getting upset a little bit. Then I'd
Yeah.
go, hey, listen
Yeah.
to this.
Right?
Yep.
Yeah, I've heard you say part of the creed on the radio before. So, all right, here we go.
Right.
Together,
Together
we face and overcome all that stands before us.
Together
we are accident-free. Together we joyfully create honest value for those we serve. Together we celebrate our differences and respect those with whom we work. Together we are accountable for our words and our actions.
Together we are the JFW family.
Way to go. Thank you, Dennis.
Thank you, Dennis.
Welcome. Thank you.
See you, everybody.
Hey, and just an FYI, we'll have an ice cream truck at Yard 23 at 3 o'clock Friday afternoon. So anybody that wants to come by, free ice cream for Dennis's retirement. There'll be an ice cream truck at Yard 23, 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. So come on by.
Maybe he'll have a margarita flavor. Maybe toast that way, right?
Yeah, I'll try it.
Dennis, do you want to give your signature sign-off?
Well, everybody, I'm just going to say 0088 clear.
All right. Woo!